What's up, mamas? I'm Rebecca. You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Reseller Momversations. I am here today with Emily. She is Emily E. Conway on Instagram, and I will let her introduce herself and tell you a little bit about herself and where she sells and all of that. We'll chat for a little bit and give you some great Reseller Momversations. Welcome, Emily. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Emily Conway. I am a reseller, I would say part-time. I also watch 2 kids from home. I have 2 of my own.
Okay.
So I have 2 of my own, watch 2, and I sell on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, and Facebook Marketplace. So
Okay.
I do all the platforms I can.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
how old are your kids and how old are the kids that you watch? And is it like Monday through Friday, like 9 to 5? Like that's the full-time thing?
Yes, it's they come at about 7:45 usually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know it's a long day, and then they get up around 5.
Okay.
So I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Okay.
And they are also 4 and 2. Like they're only a month apart.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah, and it's a neighbor. She lives right next door, and we have kids like exactly the same age. So it was really a no-brainer, you know.
Wow.
So she's a nurse, and so I help take care of her kids during the day.
Okay.
And then basically I do a lot of my reselling stuff after they leave, you know, like
Right.
at night. Around 7, I get started, and then I just go until I kind of can't anymore. You know what I mean?
Gosh, that's serious. So you've got your 2. When the other 2 are there and you have your 2, that's like a Monday through Friday thing. So I mean that I would imagine she pays you, and that's like your full time, like that's going to pay your bills kind of thing. And then all the reselling is.
Yeah, it definitely helps. I'm giving her a good break, you know.
Yeah.
I'm helping her out, and we help each other out basically. And I use that money that she gives me to go to thrift stores and do all that. And so I may turn that money into more money.
Nice. That's awesome. So can you
Yeah.
get any reselling things done when you have like Monday through Friday during the week when you have all of the children?
I try, but I do try to also just pay as much attention as I can to them, you know, so like,
well, like maybe they nap,
tough.
like do they nap or, you know, anything like that?
They do, but it's not at the same time.
Oh.
So you know, it's just hard. It's hard with 4 of them to get their nap schedules all at the same time. And yeah, we're working on it. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it, try to squeeze some stuff in during the day when I can, but mostly it's like just kind of taking care of the house and taking care of other stuff that needs to get done, like cooking and you know, all that type of stuff.
Well, and I mean, obviously I just have the 1, so it's, you know, 1/4 of what you're dealing with. But I will say, like, I have the tasks that like are like when Gio's awake tasks, and then I have like the Gio's asleep tasks, and then I have the Gio free tasks. So you know, when Gio's like not around. So like YouTube is when Gio's not around, because then I know I'm fully present in what I'm doing and he's not like photobombing the whole thing. But, you know, I can take pictures sometimes when he's awake now, but obviously if you had 4 that you were trying to keep track of, I would imagine photos are basically out. But, you know, maybe sharing, or I don't know. I mean, the idea of 4 children.
I have tried to do, because I also do YouTube, you know, so like I've tried to do it where they're here. Like I'm doing it right now, you know, like, and they're just watching a cartoon.
Oh,
so, like,
awesome.
You know, so I try to squeeze stuff in when I can, you know, and it works most of the time. You can just edit stuff out, you know what I mean? So
I know. I'm figuring out more and more all of the editing things. Like I just figured out the other day, because I do it on my phone. If I record on my phone, I can put it in iMovie, and like I just figured out how to keep the talking but add in video without the audio. Like I'm sure that's the most basic thing, but when I figured it out, I was like, oh, what's this button do? Bam! I was like, what? This is crazy. So my terrible text non-savvy self is slow to the uptake on this, but I'm getting there. Everybody can watch all of my journey. And then someday I'll be, you know, the most amazing video editor known to man after 20 years.
Exactly. Well, you just keep doing it, you know what I mean? And you just learn.
No, I don't know if I missed it. Maybe I missed it in your profile. Do you have your YouTube? Oh, you have a link tree. I didn't click on the link tree. That's why. So tell me about is your YouTube channel all reselling stuff?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, great.
basically, yeah. It's just my name, Emily Conway. That's my
Okay.
YouTube channel.
Okay.
And so yeah, I do 100% reselling basically.
Okay.
I do throw in some because I'm also artistic, so I do like songs sometimes, and I do some pictures. You know, just like I did a series like just making fun of the platforms. Like I did like what would eBay look like if it were a person, and like yeah, I don't know, like just fun stuff
Oh,
like that, creative.
that's
You
cool.
know.
Good. Well, and I
Yeah.
always say for people that, with YouTube, because people have asked me like, maybe I should, maybe I should, and I did, but I didn't. And it's like,
Mhm.
if you have a particular thing to say, or if you're coming from a particular perspective, you have a unique situation, because I thought about that too before I started. I was like, do we really need another reseller? Like, I'm watching everybody.
Yeah.
Does there need to be another voice? Like, there's so many. How many haul videos can you
Yeah.
watch? And that's why I don't even do that many haul videos, because I'd rather
Mhm.
do what I'm better at, which is more like being efficient and improving tactics, like, because I analyze
Yeah.
everything, or just speaking to
Yeah.
moms more specifically, where,
Yeah.
other channels aren't necessarily doing that on purpose. Um,
Absolutely.
so that's where I felt like I fit. But for
Mhm.
you, so I have to check that out, because that sounds
Yeah.
really, that sounds really funny. Actually, I have a video going up today that's like me starting over on eBay. So now because I
Yeah.
broke up with eBay for a while. For anyone that's watched my channel, they know I was like really kind of over it. And now I'm just starting from scratch again, like from zero listings, everything. So I'm
Wow.
thinking more about eBay. So maybe I will find out what kind of person on your channel eBay would be.
Yeah. You should check it out. I'm not going to give too much away.
I will. No, no, that's perfect. So with the thrifting and the sourcing, because that's always like a point of contention. And I try to ask every mom that I have on, what's the sourcing situation for you? Because I feel like that's almost the hardest thing for us. Like, we can figure out how to squeeze in photos. You can always work into the night. You can always get up super early like
Mhm.
I do. Like, you can kind of always figure out the home stuff one way or another. But
Yeah.
the thrifting is the hardest, especially if
Mhm.
you can't bring your kids. Like, I don't bring Geo to the bins. I'll bring him to the
Right.
regular Goodwill retail place, but I won't bring him to the bins as my personal choice.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I probably could, but I don't want to.
Mm.
So what is because you have all the kids then, so yours and others. So what do you go on the weekends,
Exactly.
or how do you fit that in?
It really depends, just on like how exhausted I might be, you know what I mean, or not. I do mostly during the week after I lay the kids down because my husband is home.
Uh,
So I just like squeeze it in because a couple of Goodwills are open from 7 to 9.
okay.
They close at 9, so like I go there from 7 to 9,
Okay.
and that's when I squeeze it in,
Just
know.
find out.
And then
I've
I
thought about
have been
doing
doing
it.
more.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have. You're fine. And then on the weekends, I do Sundays. I went yesterday. I went to 2 Goodwills, and I work it out with my husband where he can stay home with the kids, and he lets me go. It's like having his support is really huge,
It is.
in like getting out there.
It is.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I just yelled out because my husband has like during the weekdays off, so our weekend is actually now on a Monday and
Mhm.
Tuesday, and so and then like Saturday and Sunday is just a normal day for us. So I was like, can you go get Gio in case this runs over, because we had some tech issues, which was probably my fault now that we figured it out. But those that have actually watched this channel before know, like, I need all the prayers I can get as far as computers and anything technological.
Exactly.
So that's not a surprise. But so he, if
Yeah.
he's been over or something, he might go get him. But I think we'll be okay. Um,
Mhm.
but he works even sometimes extra hours. But like on Tuesdays, that's their day where they just go together. Tomorrow they're gonna go fishing or whatever. They have their daddy and
Aw.
son time. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and then that's when I like go to the bins and spend as much possible time as I can. So
Yeah.
it is.
You're probably close to the bins, right?
It's
Are you
about
close?
25 minutes away. So I know for some
Yeah.
people that live in different parts of the country, like theirs are like hours away. And I actually have
Yeah.
two. One's like 25 minutes, the other one's maybe 30 from my spot. And so that's really great. But
Mhm.
at the same time, like even that commute and having to pay tolls to get there really drives me nuts. Like,
Yep.
you go and
Yep.
you never know what you're going to find. So on the days that you find 50
Exactly.
things, you're like, oh, okay, it was fine. But on the days you go and you find 20 things, you're like, I just paid, $6 to
Yeah.
get here. I wasted an hour of my life driving because I don't have a self-driving car.
Oh,
So, I can't wait.
yeah.
So that's like a normal thing. Man, I'll get so much time back. I tried taking an
Hmm.
Uber to the bins and seeing if that would be beneficial to like pay so I would have the time in the car, but
Hmm.
it was not that good. Like I got the time in
Yeah.
the car, that was great, but it was expensive, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, I've been to the bins once because it's an hour and a half away from me.
Okay.
And I got good things. But yeah, I have the same issue where maybe next time I won't get that many good things, and it's exhausting because
Right.
driving there with the tolls and looking. I was there for 3 hours because I'm like, I'm gonna get my money's worth when
Right.
I'm here, and so I was just so done for like 2 days after that.
Yeah. It
Like
does
I just
take you.
can't swing the bins because I believe there's only one in New York State that I've seen. Like,
Oh, really? Were you? I didn't know where you
yeah,
were actually. So okay, so
yeah,
you're in New York State. Whereabouts? Up.
Syracuse, New York.
Oh, okay. Oh. How cold is it there
Yeah,
right now?
it is pretty cold. It wasn't bad yesterday. It was like sunny. But yeah, I always joke around with my other reseller friends because like some of them are in Florida, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
good for you.
Yes, yes. No, I will, and
So,
it's like 63 outside today, but it's sunny, and so it does feel nice. But inside, I have a sweater, I have a long sleeve, I have a blanket on me at the moment.
yeah.
But like yesterday, we had the windows open, and that's what's so nice in Florida when you can have those
Yeah,
windows days where you don't need the air conditioning. That's that's the Florida living. Like when you can just have air, crisp,
I
brisk air
know.
kind of coming in and out of the house. That's nice. So
I can't wait. That's like a couple more months probably for us.
yeah, I'm surprised that there would
So,
only be one in New York
I
State.
say like I've looked, and the closest one is Rochester, which is an hour and a half away from me.
Right.
And I see other resellers going to that same bins from like Buffalo, which is like in another site. So like I'm like, is this the only one? Like that's the only
Might
one I've
be.
really seen for Goodwill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I looked at Pennsylvania, and there's like tons of bins, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's not very many here
I
from what
wonder
I've seen.
because I've talked, and my sister and well, my sister does some like thrifting trips within Florida. My mom lives in Jersey, so I'll do a thrifting trip up there. Like we go to see her anyway. She keeps an eye on Geo, and I hit
Yeah.
a bunch of thrift stores. So I've done that a little bit. But there are people that travel, to thrift. I wonder if you could, maybe it was a day where you didn't have the kids, the
Yeah.
extra over a weekend or something, do an overnight there.
Yeah.
Would
And
you
we've
find
definitely looked into that.
would you find enough good stuff in comparison to the hotel charge? I wonder.
Right, exactly. And I've looked into that. I've looked at like Airbnbs and stuff. Like I've never looked into it before,
Uh-huh.
but I'm just like, we don't know. It's just like really hard to swing it with all the logistics,
Oh, I know.
so
I'm
I'm just basically waiting until garage sale season, because here it's like it's not year round like other places. So
yeah,
I'm just like, when that starts, I'll be hitting those up as
maybe
much
on
as
it.
I can, because other resellers go to the thrift store all the time because that's like literally all you can do,
Right.
so like it gets pretty dry after a while,
Yeah.
like I don't know. So I'm just waiting on garage sale season basically.
Do your kids like going
Yeah.
garage sale with you, or you don't bring them? That's because your husband's home on the weekend, so you don't have to bring them.
I started doing this about 8 months ago. So when I first started, I had my son go with me to the garage sales, but probably moving forward, I won't, just
Okay.
so I can get more done,
More done.
But I have brought him
Consuming.
before.
Yeah, it's definitely time
And
consuming, but Geo likes it now. And so I'm looking forward to
yeah,
now we'll start having a few more. Like usually March is when we get them going. Because even though we could have them all year, it is still kind of cold. People don't really do it in like January and February. Plus you just have the holidays and everything. So we'll start getting them in March. But he likes to. I mean, I'm starting to get him to negotiate a little bit. He knows he has a little budget. He picked up a couple things. So I was curious what your kids thought about it.
My son Asher loves like the thrift, like he's always talked about going to the thrift store because he gets bubble gum when we go. So he's like, are we going to the bubble gum one? You know, and he always like waits for that bubble gum, then he gets at the end. And then garage sales are great because he likes to interact with the people there a lot, and there's other little kids there a lot of times.
Yeah.
So actually, he has a little friend that he's met at garage sales, and like I see him around town all the time and stuff, and
that's awesome.
That's like his little best friend, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
and he met him through the garage sale. So.
I do want to bring up the bubblegum thing. Do you only give him the bubblegum when you go to a thrift store? Like it's a no, well, because I would do the same thing. Like there are certain, I can't remember what it was that I would bring when we would go thrifting, because then he was littler then. What snack it was, but I would, I would do it over snack time. But then like at the storage unit, because I have a storage unit to keep all my items, like I keep the graham crackers there. And so he only gets graham crackers at the storage unit. So then he's like, do you have anything to do at the storage unit? Maybe I can have he calls it something sweet. And he meant, I said, you mean a graham cracker? And he's like, yeah, sweet. Maybe we could do a few things over there. I'm like, oh my God. So I think that's a really, you can keep it to where it's a snack that they like, that you could only keep to that thing that you're trying to accomplish, even if it's not a thrifting thing. But I think that's a good, I always try to highlight that, because you never know when different people find the show. So I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
So you're on Poshmark and eBay and Mercari. Do you do all the cross listing yourself? Is everything on every platform? Tell me about that.
Right now, I just have a system where I just cross list all of it. I do it manually. Like I haven't delved into like list perfectly or anything like that yet. Right. I've heard good things. I just haven't like got around to it. Like, but it's like really, once you get a system down, you just do it. You don't even think about it. Like you just cross and you copy and paste everything. Well, that's what I do. I copy it off of eBay because eBay is the most like particular in how it's supposed to be.
Right.
So then I'll just take that and then like adjust it for Mercari and then Poshmark and Facebook. So yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long, really,
How many items do you try to put up a day?
Well, probably around 5 to 10. So not like that's kind of a lot for me. Like just everything you have to do.
That's about what I do sometimes. Like I've been on a 5, sometimes out of 10. I'm really going to try to stretch myself and get to 15 and 20, but I've yet to consistently put up 20 listings a day myself. And I have a VA, like I had a photographer, because at some point, there's always a bottleneck. Either the sourcing is a bottleneck or then the photography is the bottleneck. Because most of the time you could do the listing, even though that's maybe not your favorite part. It's not my favorite part. That's why I have a VA to do it. But like, you could do that at any time. It's a more flexible thing. But the sourcing and the photos, there's more things involved in that to be able to squeeze that in. And I feel like that's where people's bottlenecks are. Unless they have school kids, then they have, that nice chunk of time where the kids have school. Are you like counting down the days until that comes?
We're kind of debating homeschooling actually.
Oh, okay.
So like, I don't know, like I don't know how it's going to, I'm not going to have the other 2 kids. I'll probably have one of the kids because the little girl I watch is going to go to private school because our area just isn't the best for like public school, so like it's either private school or it's homeschool, like because it's just our area right now. So like, she's going to go to private school. Then I'm going to have the little boy, I think. So I can fit them in my car, you know what I mean? Like if I wanted to, I could. But yeah, so we probably aren't going to have that.
Okay.
He's probably going to be homeschooled next year. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I definitely admire people that do it. Like, and I've talked to a couple moms that have been on the show that have done it. And I definitely admire that because, I do look forward to when I have that chunk of time where Gio does go to just see what I could actually accomplish in a full day. Cause do you ever get the chance to do errands by yourself? I'm like, man, I just jammed out like $3 worth of errands. And like, you could be so productive, when you're just yourself. And so I look forward to see what can I do and what can my reselling business look like when I get that chunk of time. At the same time, and we do have good schools here, but I I get scared. I get very scared. I mean, I feel like elementary school, perhaps there's less to be scared about, but
Yeah.
there's just so much that goes on that freaks me out. Like, they have a bus
Oh,
that there's a
I
bus
totally
that
understand.
comes and the little kindergartners go on the bus. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
I wasn't a bus kid, so I don't know. Like, I didn't go
Mhm.
on a bus. So that's new to me. But it's just, there's a lot that we'll have to work through to figure it out. So I'm not opposed to homeschooling. I just also question
Mhm.
whether or not my role as a mom should also be the role of a teacher. Like, I could do it and I
Yeah.
would probably enjoy it. I love teaching
Mhm.
geo now and it's not my official thing, but
Yeah.
when you have to fill both of those roles, I don't know. That's where I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be interested.
Yeah, it's expensive to do private school, because we
Oh,
were
I'm
going to do
sure.
that for, like, we were planning that. So we kind of just want to save our money maybe for just the first year,
Yeah.
at least like 1 year, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at with it at the moment. But I have always kind of wanted to homeschool too. Like I have a teaching degree as well.
Then that's
So
fantastic.
yeah. And you need a master's degree in New York State in order to teach. So like I'm not gonna probably get my master's degree, so like I'm still gonna be able to use my degree. So
Right.
that's good.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, I kind of do want to homeschool too, but I also love my business, and so I just am gonna have to figure out how that's gonna look. Because when we were planning private school, I was looking forward to, like, I'm gonna have a lot of time for my business, and
Right.
now things are just shifting a little bit. So I'm like, okay, how's it gonna work?
Yeah.
So we'll just see. We'll see what comes of
But
it.
the thing is too, and I get crazy about it. And then I also remember that, like, there is a season for everything. And so even though in my head I want to go a million miles an hour with my business, I
Yeah,
have to remember that
yeah.
this little geo season will not be here. And it's hard for me because I'm super ambitious,
Mm-hmm.
super like career
Me
person.
too.
Like, it's very
Me
hard
too.
for me. Not that I don't want to spend the time with him. I do, but you
Yes.
also want to fulfill yourself too, as a
Mm-hmm.
general person, and
Exactly.
I don't know, like for you, and you went into teaching, my mom was a teacher, and so I admire all of that. And I think probably because I saw all of that, I realized how not for me that was. Like the idea of
Yeah.
several children in a room at one time is probably my ultimate nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
we had a play date with a couple kids, and somehow all the kids ended up inside the house with me, and all the moms were out there, and I was just standing there like, this is not supposed to be happening. Like, I need some supervision in here. Like, this is very
Nope.
uncomfortable for me. Like, I don't want to do this
Yeah.
anymore. Why are they all here? It was not okay.
Where'd you go?
Oh, it was so not okay. Like, you can tell how nervous I'm getting right now. I'm all hot and bothered. I won't like it anymore. It was very uncomfortable. But like, for me, a room full of adults where that might be more somebody else's nightmare, I can wrangle those suckers like no problem. So everybody has their
Yeah,
ways. But I could definitely see
exactly.
how, this works out well because you get some income from having the kids, but you also are able to manage the business. Like,
Hmm.
what's the other person? Somebody else had like a very flexible side hustle. Now I can't remember what it was. And it's like, sometimes it's hard to be a full-time reseller because you don't know what the ebbs and the flows of sales, if you'll really hit the numbers you need to hit to fully support yourself.
Yeah,
So if you can have yet
yeah.
one other thing where they can be so complementary to each other that you
Hmm.
can actually do them both without really taking away from the other, that's
Hmm.
probably the best thing,
Yeah,
and even
absolutely.
saving, versus the privates, you know what I mean? It's not about what you're earning, but it's about what you're saving by being home or something like
Hmm.
that. So I
Hmm.
think that that's so many ways to work it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, what is your biggest, like, what's your main one? And then the other ones are, because I feel like everybody's got one. So it sounds like maybe
Yeah,
eBay, you said that's where you started
yeah.
listing. Is that where you get the most of your sales? And that's like your jam and the others are extra, or?
Usually eBay has been my number one since the beginning. But lately I've been selling my husband's Ninja Turtles collection. And it is amazing money. Like, honestly, like, we have all the complete sets and everything. Like,
Oh,
I'm getting
wow.
hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Wow.
But so because of the type of item I'm selling, Mercari is like all over it. Like, for some reason, all the collectors are over on Mercari.
Interesting.
And so anytime I post something to there, it sells like almost immediately because of that item.
Huh.
But usually eBay is my primary, but lately it's been Mercari, to be honest. Like, I was surprised.
Are you getting like top value collector money for it, or are you just trying, like, are they thinking that maybe people are just getting rid of stuff, they don't know the value and so they're snagging it on you, or are you doing like
no, like,
selling it for the main good price?
yeah, I'm selling it like way more than eBay.
Wow.
Like, yeah, like, the same figurine, for example, just the basic one is like $15. Let's say on eBay, I might get like an offer for like $9.99 for that item, but on Mercari, I'll get full asking price plus they'll pay for shipping, you know, like, so it's like a no-brainer with these collectibles. Like, I don't know what it is, but they're all paying, like, a lot of them are paying full price for these items, and I don't have a lot of people countering and stuff. Like on eBay, it sits for a while, you know.
Yeah.
So that particular item sells well on Mercari, but like clothing and all the other things. What's that?
Competition might be less on Mercari then? Like maybe you're one of the people that are putting it up or something. I mean, I have no idea. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, it just seems like there's a lot of collectors on Mercari, which kind of makes sense. They have like a 10% that they take out, like it's less money.
Right.
And so maybe the collectors know that. And so maybe, you know, people selling and buying on there understand, like, we want to make the most of our money. You know what I mean? So that could be possible.
I mean, it's just so funny because from having gone away from eBay, and, you know, eBay was not ever my first thing, you know, well, really Top Spot, which is no longer around, was my first thing just for kids' clothes. And then Poshmark, and then eBay, and then Mercari. So Mercari's always like, you know, the whatever, you know, the third child or whatever, you know.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Poshmark. Poshmark's like, okay, I gotta share my closet. I gotta remember to share my closet, you know? Like, that's more work.
Right.
So I just am like,
for you, since you're doing all the listing on your own, I mean, you would probably benefit greatly from a VA to share your closet. If you can, you know, some people, it takes a long time for them to be able to like make that leap and kind of get there of like having someone help them and stuff. I recognize that is a step. But it's one of the you know, like, especially if you're not putting maybe the love and attention into Poshmark because of the sharing, I bet you would see, you know, if you're doing all the listing and the listings are there, but they're not getting the frequency, but because of the sharing, you'd probably see a huge increase in sales just from having somebody do an extra share or two for you in a day or something like that. Check it out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Especially with having, go ahead.
Oh, I haven't looked into it much. I've heard about it maybe a couple times, you know, but like, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll do that, maybe not. So I'll look into it. Like, how much does it cost? Or should we maybe not talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can do it. And I have some videos on it, like exactly everything I've done. Because my VA now she's basically like my vice president. Like, I really should just, you know, like she does so much. But it didn't start out that way. You know, I had a local person that I found on Facebook remotely share for me. So I never actually met her. That was my first helper. I never met her. We talked on the phone. She was in the US. And so she was in the local area, but we just, you know, we're like 30 minutes apart. So that was the first time where I trusted my business with someone, but I felt comfortable because I could talk to her on the phone and be like, this is how you do it. And this is what my concern is. And, oh, what's going on? And so like, that was a great way to start. And that's what I recommend for people, like, before you take the leap and hire like somebody from the Philippines or what, you know, whatever you, because you hear a lot of different people do different things. If you can put on Facebook, hey, is there a mom in the area that could use some extra money to work from home? You know, you can make $20 a week or whatever you would want to start it with, just some very basic low amount. Like, I just need you to share my closet once on the weekends, like just to try it out. You know, it's like hiring a babysitter, hiring a dog walker. You just hire someone to share your closet. and I would get a copy of their driver's license, and I would make them sign like a little confidentiality agreement. That's what I did to make myself feel better, like that I had some kind of like recourse with them to let them know, because when you get hired at a job, you have to give that information. That way, in case she does abscond with your account, like at least you know who this person is or whatever. But you know, it's a trust thing. But I mean, that's how I did it with her for quite some time, and then I hired a VA. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I hired a college student in the Philippines on the site called Upwork. She's not with me anymore, but she was with me for a while. And now I have a different VA also from the Philippines that I found on Upwork, and she's been with me. We're in our 3rd year together.
Wow.
And so it started with sharing, then it went to listing, then it went to do my books and track my inventory spreadsheet, then it's track all my expenses. Now, I mean, she does all the things, so much stuff. But yeah, for anyone that is interested in just getting a little bit of time back so that they could do something else like list or source more or whatever, I say get rid of your sharing to anybody you can, because
yeah, I hear that.
it would be a huge game changer. I mean, there's probably not that much benefit in like a lot of shares per day, but if you just did one a day, it would make a world of difference. Just one extra of what you're doing, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But what other kinds of, I've been wanting to ask this more to people, because I feel like we all have our little tips and tricks, and I maybe should have said it ahead of time, but I didn't think of it until now, like that help you just get it done more easily. Like, is there something that you do when something else is happening, a habit that you have as far as like being a reselling mom with kids and also a caretaker on top of that? Any get it done tricks and tips that you would want to share with it? Because I feel like everybody connects differently to each guest I have. So when I have someone with a unique situation, I think it would be great to, you know, share your wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I like with all the things I have going on in my life with watching kids, thrifting, sourcing, listing, family time, friend time, like everything I have going on, one huge thing for me has been to like write out my schedule, like what I'm going to do, like hour by hour. I even schedule like rest time and flex time, like what days am I going to do things. I make sure everything is sort of scheduled out for me, so then I know I'm getting everything done.
Right.
As well as YouTube, you know, YouTube is another thing. So
right.
Like,
and that takes time.
So if you think about it, I'll just like, wow, what am I going to do and when? And so like, that has been a huge game changer. Like, okay, at this hour, I'm going to focus on cleaning. And this hour, I'm going to focus on what am I going to, like my YouTube video and editing, you know? And so I really try to stick to that as best as possible. I've been probably about a couple weeks in, and I'm already way more productive just doing that, just writing out what I do and like making sure I get it done that way, so I don't forget anything.
In hour increments, like I'm dedicating an hour to cleaning, and whether I get all the cleaning done or not, that was the hour, and it is what it is. And then YouTube and whatever. Interesting. That's good.
Yes. So that has been good for me. And making sure I have my, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you find with even when you have the 4 kids there, that you can do the things that you thought you were going to do on your list at the time? Because that's for a long time, I never scheduled anything. I just made a list because I felt like the day I was never in charge of the day. The day just kind of ate me alive when I had Gio, like before he was in school, before we had blocks of time where, you know, when it was just me and him all day long. I felt like the day just completely ate me. Like I was never in charge of it. And it was only until recently where I could feel like I had chunks. And now again, he's 4. It's a little different than when he was 2 and whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, because you do have 2-year-olds there. Can you, do you still get done what you're hoping to get done during those times?
Yeah, like I said, I do a lot of my business after like my husband gets home from work or after like everyone's asleep basically. So like the things that I get done during the day are spending one-on-one time with my son, working on writing and reading. Like we do a little bit of time for that, just like 15 minutes, nothing crazy, because he's 4, you know what I mean? So like he's not going to sit there for an hour. So like I just make sure I get time with them during the day, get my cleaning done, get cooking done, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I am checking my, like I share my Poshmark closet when I can, you know, when I remember. And I also like answer any questions about items, you know, do all that type of stuff during the day as well. So like I am kind of doing customer service type stuff, and it just, that happens.
Right.
But yeah, I try to just say, okay, this is my time for like being a mom, you know, like, and then after my husband comes home, or after everyone's sleeping, okay, now I usually do from like probably 7 to 11, you know, 7 to 10 or 7 to 11 of just what needs to be done, organizing my inventory, listing, whatever it is that needs to get done. I focus on whatever it is, or sourcing. I also do that at night. So by the time Saturday rolls around, I'm pretty exhausted.
I would imagine. I will say, I feel like one of our Goodwill thrift stores, like a local one that's a retail, is open till 9. But I always say I'm gonna do it because Gio doesn't go to bed that early. I don't know that I'd ever actually make it down there with any amount of time.
That's the thing. Like my kids go out like rock, like not like as soon as I'm down, they sleep. You know, so like I kind of rely on that a little bit, you know, because that's a good thing about my kids. They just sleep. Not all kids are like that, you know. So
well, and then like, you know, for me, people are always like, I can't believe Gio still takes a nap. Like he still takes a nap at least an hour and a half. I mean, and only up until
that's nice.
Only up until this past 6 months, he was still doing like a 3-hour nap, a 2-hour nap. It just kind of really bumped down since he hit 4. And I'm like, listen, nobody's messing with my nap. Like the nap stays until the nap has to go when he goes to kindergarten all day.
That's fine. You enjoy that.
Does it?
And it lasts.
Yeah, and I mean, and I get up at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. I'm not a night owl. I'd rather get it done in the morning. That makes me feel productive throughout the day, where for you will want to concentrate on your mom things and the caretaker things, and then you know you have your time at night. Doesn't matter. It's the same. You know, I have my 3 hours in the morning, you have your 4 hours at night. But yeah, the nap is helpful because either I do shut my eyes for a little bit because I got up at 4 in the morning, or I'm, you know, busy doing stuff. And I also like, that's my time. We have a dog. I feel like I don't pay attention to her all day long. And then it's like when nap time, that's when she kind of comes to the couch, and I'm already doing stuff on Poshmark because I'm like, okay, now I can, you know, answer offers or send out offers or checking what's going on Instagram or whatever. So, you know, you can lay down and do that, which is nice. And so that's my like cuddle time with her. I need to give both my kids attention.
I know. I thought about getting a dog, and I'm like, what am I thinking?
Yeah, don't get that just yet. That would be a lot.
Well, we'll wait.
The thing is, when you're home, it's actually the best time to get a dog because you're home. You can be on top of the dog to train it. When we got Malia, my husband was working from home as a realtor and going to school full time. So he was home and I was, you know, at my job. And so he was on her like white on rice. So she's a very well-behaved, well-trained dog because he was here with her. It's hard when you have to go to work to be able to train the dog, you know? So it would be a good time to do it if you have it. But yeah, there's too many children. So I'm like, we could have another dog. No more children.
Yeah.
More furry. More furry things. But
very smart.
Do you have, well, I think this would be a good time to kind of wrap it and let you get back to them, and then I'll be able to go get Gio. Do you have any parting thoughts for the moms that have tuned in to watch us for the last bit of time? Anything you want to share with them?
Just I want to say that you're amazing moms. You do everything, and other people who don't have children don't get it like we do. Okay, we love you, and we're so appreciative of you watching, and we gotta stick together.
Absolutely. That's basically well said. And I don't even think I say it enough, so thank you for saying that, because you know I feel like this channel, not because it's my channel or anything, but all the tips that get shared in this Reseller Mom show, whether it's in the comments or people that come on the channel or whatever, is like we're the best kept secret in reselling because we're either home with our kids or we're working and then we're doing reselling on top of it. Like the people that are only doing reselling, you know, if they're a woman and maybe they will become a mom, you know, if they're younger and someday they'll be a mom, I think it would be good to watch. But if you're a guy who you know, sorry to the guys out there, but sometimes you're not the most efficient out there. I will say probably resellers, they work for themselves. They're probably more efficient over men in general. That's gonna get me too. But like you know, I feel like women are very efficient. And so if you have a mom who's trying to do reselling and trying to do momming at the same time, she's gonna be like on point everywhere. And so all others should take notes.
Exactly.
This has been awesome. I really appreciate it. I'm going to definitely check out your video. So give everybody your YouTube name again and your Instagram name so that way they can, I'll put it below, but give it to me.
All right. My YouTube is my name, Emily Conway, Conway. That's my YouTube. And then my Instagram is all one word, Emily E. Conway.
Perfect. Well, mamas, thank you. Okay, mamas, thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I appreciate it. Go ahead and give us a comment down below. Please like this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more reseller mom content to get more done, make more money, and stay sane while raising kids and reselling online. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.